Hey, what's up, guys? It's Monday night, the night I've been waiting for. As you guys know, in my last video, I mentioned that I was picking up a knife on Monday, hoping that it was coming on Monday. And the mailman actually jacked me up and just came a little bit ago. It's freaking 7 o'clock on Monday night. So he got here about 6:45 or so. And I was wondering if it was even going to show up at all. I started thinking the post office wasn't working today, but I don't remember a holiday or anything. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to open this bad boy up and see what we got. Some of you guys may recognize that name right there. It is my first camouflage case too. Not that this is really what you guys are tuning in to see. But before I open this up, give you a little bit of story behind it. This was for trade about 2 weeks ago, I guess. And I saw it for trade, and I was literally slobbering over this thing. And it's just a knife that doesn't come up that much. GTC is very, very hard to get, and when you do see them out there, they're pretty expensive, as many of you guys would probably already know. So he really wanted to trade it, and I couldn't. I love my knives. It's hard for me to let anything I really, really enjoy using or having. It's hard for me to let those go. So I was having a hard time coming up with something to trade with, and most of the stuff I have, what I would have had to add cash to it, and we just couldn't make the deal work. So I was a little bit bummed, but it was what it was. And for some reason, things had changed, and instead of wanting a trade, he wanted to sell it, and he posted it up on Instagram. And as soon as I saw it, I'll take it right away. No questions, no negotiations, just I felt like I had a second opportunity to get this knife, and I wasn't going to let it slip. So anyway, without further ado, we shall open this bad boy up, and you will get to see her in all of her glory. This is a GTC plasma. I'll show you a few things about it in a second. I'm seeing it for the first time as well, and she holds fingerprints really easily. Just literally, like, it's almost like it's hand rubbed, all of the titanium. I think it is. That's just gorgeous. Carbon fiber, and it looks like a G10. A red G10 inlay inside or underneath the carbon fiber. So it just shows just on the outside or just underneath. Unless it was layered. I think it was layered like that, and it's just enough has been brought back just to bring out the red in it. Just a ridiculous looking knife. Sorry, I'll keep wiping it down so that you guys don't have to look at my fingerprints all night. Pocket clip, milled out. Just really, really cool. As some of you guys watch some of the videos of the knife makers in the world, Collector Center. Some might get a kick out of that, others might not have any clue what I'm talking about when I say Collector Center. Let's wipe this side off. You can see the red coming through. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, now we're going to go to the backspacer, which is really, really sweet. It's built kind of like an integral looks. It obviously is not an integral because that would be one piece of titanium, but this is literally built solid all the way to the top, which is really neat. I mean, for one, you can't feel it. It's just a solid piece. They've added some work in here just to add another touch, which is what you should get when you're paying this much money for a high-end custom knife. But anyway, so part of this, when the blade deploys, this is the stop for the blade. So it's kind of neat. I haven't had anything that does that. Normally there's a stop pin or something like that, but this one doesn't have that. And also on this side, the carbon fiber is literally, you can't feel the change. I felt this a lot. I mean, you can really tell when you've got a quality knife is where any of the inlays disappears directly in between, where you can't feel the transition. Just awesome. Again, just hand rubbed finish, satin finish on this, which is just awesome. I hope you guys can see that, and it's picking up in the camera, because in person it just looks incredible. But this carbon fiber acts as an over travel stop, which is kind of neat too. As you can see, there's some jimping and carvings done on the spine of the blade. Not your typical just lines everywhere, but it's got like a nice milling. I'm having a hard time getting it to focus there, but you can just see the detailed work in this knife. Just awesome. All the corners are rounded. Just very, very smooth. Every direction you feel, there's not a sharp edge on the entire thing. It's just perfect. So flipping action. This is a slide flipper. You can do it this way, which is a little bit harder to do. But it's a slide. The reason it's a slide, you can't push button, is because it is, you can see where the stop on the knife happens in the backspacer. So if you're pressing down on the flipper, your finger is going to get stuck and it's going to block it from being able to close. But the blade is a multi-grind. Just awesome. Again, hand rubbed satin blade. And I hope that's coming through. That's just my freaking sweat marks everywhere on it. Just perfection. It's got a nice harpoon look to it on towards the tip right here. The swedge cuts way in to the second grind. Hope this is coming through so you guys can see. I think this is RWL 34, so I'm pretty certain that's what that R is standing for right there. Trying to clean up, it's got some oil on it where it's been taken care of. This is a 2009 model. You can see where the carbon fiber acts as the over travel. We're looking at about 20% or so on the lockup. In the inside of the knife, it's RWL 34. It's got plasma written in there towards the top here. It's kind of hard to tell. You might be able to see it in there. Plasma at the very top right there. The date, which looks like April 7th, 2009. My guess. Can't really tell, but it's written in there. So it looks like April 7th, 2009. And then RWL 34. So, as you can see, there's mill work in the inside of the scales. Hopefully that shows up where you guys can see, where it's just extra added touch to the knife. I hope it's visible because there you go. It's probably easier to see. But he's done, it's almost like a jeweling. To intentionally put marks on the inside of a knife, just to me, is just telling me that you are serious about making a quality knife, and the price that you charge is warranted. You know, a lot of knives we get are real pretty on the outside and they could care less about the inside. I've gotten a couple of customs, really nice ones that people love and are very, very popular, and the inside is different screws and they're stripped out and just wasn't the greatest production as far as putting them together. Not production as in a production knife, but just didn't put the hand time into it. So this takes time to do that. Not that it makes the knife, but it sure adds just a little bit of an element. So hopefully you guys can pick that stuff up. So absolutely zero stick, great detent. This is a massive blade. Let's get into some of the specs of it. I think it's a 4-inch blade. We're going to find out right here. We are at over a 4-inch blade. This is more of like, the cutting surface is 4 inches for certain. This would probably be considered a 4.5 inch blade. It doesn't feel like that. I've had some larger knives before around that size. I know you guys can't really see the way that the light's shining on there. But let's get the overall length is about 9.5 inches. And closed length is about 5.5 inches. So it's got a good size handle. I like a little bit larger knife anyway. But the blade's a pretty good size, and it's when you got a blade that size, it's got some weight to it. And I don't really have anything else really to compare it to. We'll pull out a my black gold bodega just to give a idea. The bodega's got a pretty good size blade. This is kind of an unfair. I think I've showed you guys about this before, where this is, because the angle goes back, it shortens whatever's in the back. So if, as you can tell, it's a lot closer to the size here, but if I put it back here, it makes it look a lot smaller. So just to give, it's a little bit of the depth perception thing. But anyway, you can kind of tell close to the bodega. Let's pull up a Solo V4, which that's a pretty good size knife right there. These are all square, just looks like it's not. These are probably pretty much the some of the larger knives I have. We'll put up a a Quayback, which is a big knife as well. As you can tell, put it in front. It's a pretty good size, bigger than that. And just for A15. So that's a big knife there. So you can see she's a beast by a long shot. Let me put it in front and see if that helps a little bit more. So that makes it look a little closer. It's still larger than this. The blade is bigger. The handle's about the same size. So anyway, just to give you guys some comparisons on the size of the knife. Tell you what though, man, this is the Ferrari of folding knives. It even looks like a Ferrari in my opinion. It's like the Italian sports car. Gus makes incredible designs. Been a knife maker since I think 2004. I think he actually is a farmer, believe it or not, or owns a farm or something like that. But he was self-taught and just makes a ridiculously phenomenal product. This is probably the longest unboxing I've done because this was a grail for me, and I am beyond ridiculously stoked to have it. So I'm excited that this came in today. I'm really stoked to have a knife this sweet. It's a little bit slower to deploy just because this blade is really a lot of blade to flip through. But anyway, there you have it, guys. GTC plasma flipper, and I am stoked to have it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. We'll talk with you soon. Take care.